Radio and New Hampshire's best sports. This is WGAM, The Game.
Welcome back, everybody. I am JJ Trubin here on the New England Golf Radio Show. We got Chris behind the board there. Seems as though he cleaned up my coffee spill or whatever it is. He maybe dropped his bagel on the board. We got things worked out back there. We're all set to go. We got Brandon Smith on the phone, who is the golf fitness professional at the International Golf Club in Bolton, Massachusetts, which I heard is just unbelievable. I haven't been down there to play it. I haven't even been on the grounds yet, but I heard it's unbelievable. Brandon, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, JJ. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. We're just rolling through our first show today. What's going on down there at the International? Is there anybody around? Is there 6 feet of snow on the ground? I would assume that's not the case. Are the greens being rolled? Or are you guys out recruiting people for membership? I guess that's probably pretty unlikely that that's happening. But what's going on down there at the International?
Right now, everything's going on. We've just it just opened up last Friday. One course is open of the two. Members are coming back into town, and everybody's getting in shape, ready to go.
Everybody's getting in shape.
Gone, so.
Now is do your members come back and say, Brandon, you know, my nutritional habits, my winter diet, my exercise regime during the winter, it just kind of left me. I didn't do anything. So can you help me out, Brandon? Like, can you get me back in shape? Is that one of their pleas or cries to you when they show up in the springtime, maybe with a few extra pounds from the, Christmas, New Year's, all that good stuff?
Right, yeah. Well, some people do, but most of the members have been working out throughout the winter.
Oh, smart man there. I like you taking care of your members, man. Let them know. Now, I'm sure they're all listening, so that is a smart man right there taking care of his members, saying, hey, you know what, they are devoted to working out throughout the winter, no matter what's going on. They don't fall victim to those Christmas cookies and the New Year's activities that most people do. So you're the fitness professional at the International. Now, talk to me a little bit about how fitness has taken over the game of golf or infiltrated the game of golf on the PGA Tour, outside of the PGA Tour. Tell me what's up with fitness as far as golf on two different levels, the professional and the amateur level.
Well, on the pro level, if you've watched every tournament so far this season, not a tournament has gone by where Nick Faldo hasn't mentioned how in shape all the players are. Mm-hmm. I'm just hearing that, I hear that every single tournament, every time the TV's on. And you look, and all the guys are coming up, and they are in shape. And that was something that when Tiger was really dominant, he was doing that, and nobody else was. And now everybody's kind of leveled the playing field. They're getting in shape, they're hitting it longer, or just, they're hitting it longer than he does now.
Yeah.
And that's a big attribute to the physical fitness. These guys, they have all the tools, they have the best swing coaches, they work on their games 8 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, that's
fitness.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
Brandon.
Fitness
no problem. Fitness was a missing piece. And it was kind of frowned upon back in, in the older days where guys thought you'd get tight and just too strong and muscle bound, but
right.
Now it's proven through science that, the more in shape you are, the better everything will work. And it affects in the amateur game, being out of shape affects the number one thing that swing coaches talk about, and that's posture. Mm-hmm. If you have bad posture, it's just going to lead to so many mistakes and compensations in your swing that you just can't correct. And you're going to stay, right around 100 or, over 100. You're never going to break 90. So fitness outside for the amateur game, it affects the most important fundamental, which is posture.
Sure, and I would totally agree with you on both of those points, and I think that's a great way that you explain that to us. Now, when you talk about posture, we're not just talking about posture when we're setting up to the ball. You're talking about posture throughout the swing, I would assume, because I know that I have a few issues in my swing, more than a few, probably a lot of issues. Maybe I definitely need to have you check me out. But posture throughout the swing, what does loss of posture throughout the swing do to your swing and eventually to the golf ball?
Well, there's 3 points to the posture. One is obviously at address. If you set up incorrectly, it's going to be difficult to do everything else correctly. So right. Posture at address is first. Then we have to have good posture to the top of the backswing. If you can maintain your posture there and you maintain your spine angle, coming down, posture at impact is huge. And then finishing with posture. When you watch the Masters today, and you watch Rory McIlroy hit a tee shot, watch him hold his finish. He's in great balance with great finishing posture.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing to watch him hit one of those drivers and just stay completely on balance. It's just, unless you've seen it in person, if you haven't been to an event, I suggest you go to one. You get people that are out there, because to watch these guys swing it as fast as they do, generate that kind of club head speed and stay on balance is unbelievable. Okay, Brandon,
right.
So here's what we want to know. Maybe we haven't been working out, or we haven't been stretching, we haven't been in the gym doing what we need to do throughout the winter, and obviously now we're starting to be able to get outside and play a little bit of golf. Give us something that we can do maybe a couple times a week, or even more than that. I don't know, that'll help us get back into the swing of things and allow us to perform better on the course.
Well, the first thing is, I like to tell people, is something is better than nothing. So
there you go. I agree with you.
Make sure you do something. And if I had a choice, it would be flexibility. Mm-hmm. My rule is, if you sit down at all during the day, you need to stretch. Right. So that includes everybody. So I would start with flexibility, mostly throughout your hips. Okay. The hips and the hamstrings are going to be tight with people who sit down all day long. Mm-hmm. You go to work, and then you get in your car, and then you drive to work, and you sit down at work, and you leave the work at night, and you sit down in your car, and you drive back home, and you sit down and watch TV. You're sitting all day long. When you play golf, you're standing. Okay? So flexibility would be the key, and I would work on flexibility for right-handed golfers. I would really focus on your left hip. And if you want to get real detailed.
Right, and just being able to fire that left hip. You can see Jason Day does that in his pre-shot routine. He works on firing that left hip out of the way so he can let that club swing through there. So flexibility, huge part of the game. If you got to do something, Brandon says stretch. Do some stretches. Get your hips more flexible. And I'm sure, Brandon, now, can people just come in and see you anytime? Do we need to be a member at the International to get a workout with you? I mean, how does that all work? Can I show up at the International tomorrow at 6 a.m. and you'll be in the gym ready to work me out? Or do I need to schedule something with you? How does that work?
Tomorrow I'll probably be asleep at 6 a.m.
All right, good man.
Email, and we can schedule an appointment anytime.
Okay.
I do train non-members.
Excellent.
We have a whole host of things. You can come down, and there's a 55-room lodge at the International. You can stay the weekend. We can go through 2 training sessions. You can play the course. You can have dinner at the restaurants. You can visit the TaylorMade Performance Lab. So you can do a whole weekend activity. Or you can come down and see me on a session-by-session basis. And all we have to do is call the International, or you can email me, and we can set something up. And I'd love to get you down, JJ, and see what you got going on.
Yeah, I definitely need your help. There is no question. I got some issues with pulling some tee shots, some hooks. I don't know. We don't need to talk about those on the air. We don't need that. We don't need that stuff to be public knowledge. But I definitely would love to come down to the International and work with you guys. And the TaylorMade Performance Lab is something that I would really be interested in. I've never been fit for clubs. It's the rage right now in golf. I need to do it. It needs to be done, and I just haven't been able to ante up the cash, to be honest with you, to get it done. So maybe we can work something out with Brandon. Now, so as you heard, call the International, email Brandon. He'll work with you anytime. He'll help you get that flexibility back to where it needs to be after the winter months. He'll help you work probably with a little bit of strength stuff if that's what you're interested in, and give you a whole analysis of what you can do physically to improve your swing. So now that we talked about that, I got to ask you, what's your Masters prediction? Is McIlroy going to carry this thing through the final round and get it done at the tender age of 21?
I think he is. He's got a 4-shot lead, I believe.
4 shots,
to start today. I think he is. I think it's his time here for a major. The guy's chasing him. I mean, Jason Day's 21. It's his first time. He's chasing, and Tiger's a few shots off. But I do think McIlroy is going to hang on and take this thing home.
Because you think that, what does he need to do? What's the most important thing today during the round you think that he needs to do to complete that victory?
Basically, I don't think he needs to change anything. He's been playing well for 54 holes. He's just got to keep it going, and he's got the 4-shot lead. Doesn't have to play too aggressively, and he can let everybody else make mistakes because they're going to try to catch up.
And
but,
that's
he just has to keep cruising.
Yeah, and that's great advice, Rory McIlroy. If you're listening, I know you probably are. Keep doing what you're
sure
doing.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he be? I'm sure they have this piping right into the Masters range, and everybody down there is listening to our advice and telling them what we're doing.
Hanging on every word.
Yeah, just thinking about, hey, you know what? I really need to get it up and down today because these guys said so. Okay, that's Brandon Smith from the International Golf Club down in Mass. I'm certainly going to come down sometime. We'll do some work, and we'll hopefully get you back on here throughout the season so we can keep progressing with this fitness thing. As we heard, it's a huge piece of golf. So, Brandon, you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the Masters. Sleep in tomorrow. Get some rest, and tack the week next week, all right?
Thank you, JJ. You too.
All right, thanks.
We'll see you.
So again, that's Brandon Smith, the head fitness professional at the International Golf Club, and I am. You guys heard it on air. He wants me to come down there. He's crazy if he doesn't think that I'm going to show up down there. I honestly, because of my issues, well, I don't know if you call them issues, but I don't even know if you want to call it addiction. I want to go down there so bad and play that course. They have the 600-yard par 5, as I heard. He can look at my swing and say, you know what, your hips are messed up, your physical fitness needs to go here or there, and there's no way I'm not going down there to do that.
Now, why is this different from going to any other country club and meeting with the pro there?
Because
what's the difference with it?
The difference between this is Brandon focuses more on the physical aspect, and the limitations that you have physically don't allow you to do certain things with the golf club. So if you can't make that full turn and get your back to the ball before you get to the top of your backswing, that hurts you with the distance. And a pro can give you technical tips, which is great. But if you can't perform those tips physically, then there's no way that you'll be able to implement them into your game. So, great piece of advice. Like I said, we'd love to get him back on there. And one thing I wanted to ask him is who does he think the fittest guy on tour is? I'm sure he would have gone with Tiger, right? Chris, you would say the fittest guy. I mean, when you look at him physically, he's imposing. He's clearly in the gym, as he said. Half his day is probably devoted to golf, the other half to the gym. So what do you think, Chris? Tiger, fittest guy on tour?
Probably the fittest guy on tour. It's a little hard to say because a lot of these guys, you can't tell if they're fit or if they're just young, Yeah. You can't tell if they're just like young guys who are in decent shape for their age. Right. Or if they're in like really great golf shape. It's hard to really tell.
Right. And that's a great segue to what we're going to talk about is the young guys out on tour and